Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. What is this video about? Well, I'm going to make a complete racket with a drum rack and raw. Yes, I think it's time to take raw for a test drive. What I would like to do is use raw in a drum rack, but in a feedback loop so that I can kind of create these mad textures that are triggered from things that are in the drum rack. But then I'm going to modulate the feedback loop so that it alters the texture to create these sort of weird industrial evolving things triggered by drums and also controlled by the drums in weird ways. Let's find out how we're going to do that. So let's get a drum rack. Let's put a drum rack in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put in a DS kick on this cell and a DS snare on this cell. And then I'm going to make a clip. And I'm just going to put something simple like this in to start with. And let's have a listen to that. Brilliant, the best beat of my career. I'm going to put the tempo down to 100 BPM. Okay, and I'm going to go into the drum rack. I'm going to open out all of this stuff. We need all of these things open. So I'm going to put raw in a chain here. Let's go and get raw. Where is raw? Raw, where are you, raw? There you are. We're going to put raw in there. And we're going to basically tweak as much as we can in raw to make weird sounds. Feed the drums into this loop, feed the loop back into itself so that it creates a feedback loop, but then change the feedback loop and maybe use some things that the drums are doing in order to change it so that those feedback loops have a relationship with the drums, maybe. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a limiter and put a limiter after raw. That is very important. And then I'm actually going to go and put a limiter on my main channel because this is going to get satanic and we need to protect ourselves from Satan. So, right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's open this out as well because this is useful. I'm going to enable the sends on this return track. So I'm going to right click this send here and go enable all sends. Now I can send that back into itself. If we dial in the kick and the snare into the send, right, there's a tiny little bit of delay there. That's fine. So now I can sort of start tweaking that. I'm going to use multi-band mode on raw, which is kind of my favorite because you sort of get three raws in one. And I'm going to use this feedback thing as well. So even though that we're kind of, raw kind of has its own feedback loop built into it, we're going to kind of push it even further by adding another one on top. So if I start feeding this back into itself, it's going to start making some god-awful noise. Wow. And yeah, we don't really need to do that because you can kind of do that here as well. But you kind of get... Actually, let's put the compressor up. Let's put the compressor all the way up. I'm going to compress it like a buffoon. So you can get some. But in my opinion, it's a little bit safe. So we're going to crank it even more with this extra feedback loop here. So I'm going to maybe start with the mid. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to start with the mid and I'm going to use the comb filter. There's a comb filter. This is mad. Oh my goodness me. So I don't really know what's happening in relation to the comb filter because the comb filter is like a very, very, very short delay with a little bit of the resonance is essentially the feedback. So I don't really know how that works in conjunction with this feedback mode. If it feeds back through the comb filter as well. Anyway, it's just crazy. There's just a ridiculous amount of heavy stuff that we can do here. So I might just start by just modulating this frequency with some of these built-in LFOs in raw. So if I sort of dial this thing here with all of this stuff open and I dial this thing here, I can see to the right that is now appearing here. So I maybe just might, let's just dial that to LFO 1. I've noticed that the LFOs don't start. Even when sync is off, they don't start unless there's like a clip in there or something. I was trying that anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm going to turn that to 3. So we can see that we're now modulating the frequency of that comb filter. Let's bring that right down really slow. This bias is nice too. Okay, so let's maybe do something with the high. Let's put the high into peak, which is kind of almost like a little one-band EQ where we can pull down specific or boost specific frequencies there. Actually, you know what? I've changed my mind. I want to do this the other way around. I want to have the peak in the middle. Going to have the peak on the mid. Let's maybe cut that and then have that. And then the high I'm going to have be the comb instead. I've changed my mind. Okay, so this frequency will route to LFO2. Where is it? There we go. All right, let's feed that back into itself. Oh my God. It's just sort of, it's frightening and sort of, I don't know, it's frightening and silly at the same time. Oh my goodness me. It's like someone playing the recorder really badly. Right, okay. Let's dial down the feedback on this for now. All right, we need to keep an eye on that. Let's try adding a little bit of low stuff. Yeah. All right, so now that we've kind of got our feedback loop and some stuff going on, I want to get to some interesting stuff. Now what I want to do is I want to gate the feedback loop from the drums using a sidechain on the gate. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a sidechain chain. So I'm going to create a return chain and I'm going to call this one sidechain. And then I'm going to send kick the kick and the snare to send B, which is my sidechain, which I'm going to mute. I don't want to hear it. And then in the raw chain, I'm going to go and get a gate. There's a gate right there. I'm going to put that before the limiter. And I'm going to open the sidechain and I'm going to choose as the input, I'm going to go to drum rack and then I'm going to choose sidechain post effects, not post mixer, because I've muted it so we'll get silent. So we'll go post effects. And now I can use the triggers from the kick and snare to trigger this gate. So you can see that that's happening right now. And so what it's doing, I'm going to turn the return down. Yeah, I'm going to turn the return down and the floor down. So what's happening is that when the kick and snare come in, which are both at a nice even level, they're triggering the gate. I'll turn that down a little bit. They're triggering the gate. So if I turn up the release, we're getting a little bit more of that feedback. Yeah. So where this gets interesting is because we can kind of kill the feedback loop for a very, very short amount of time so that it doesn't completely bleed out and just create bad recorder sounds and kind of resets it, but does it in time with the drums. And you can get these very interesting textures. So that's fun. Okay, but But the problem is that I actually don't want it to behave like that, because what it's doing is that when the kick and the snare triggers come in, they open the gate. I actually want it to work the other way, and I want it to close the gate so that when there's no triggers, the gate is open. And we can do that by flipping the gate. So we're going to flip the gate. And now what's going to happen is that it's going to duck the volume. Oh my God. So we kind of need to pull that send back down. This dial here is our best friend. In fact, why don't we map that to a macro just so that we can get quicker access to that if we want. Okay, I think I'm actually maybe done for now with all of this routing stuff, well, at least in here, so I can close this down. Yeah. So the shape of the gate is going to be determined by the attack and release. So as we decrease the release, there's less release time. As we increase the attack time, it's going to fade in slower as it pulls the volume down, and the threshold is at the point where that happens. So we can sort of, this visual guide on here is really useful. So I can see where the sort of light grey in the background is the trigger. The darker grey is the audio after the gate. I'm not sure what the white line over the top is. Maybe that just makes it look nice. So if I pull the threshold all the way down, it's not triggering the gate. We need to trigger the gate at around this point where these darker grey peaks are. So if I sort of pull this back up, and if we play with the release and play with the attack and the release a little bit. Okay, now let's feed it back. Okay, it's sort of like it's someone playing a bad recorder through a vacuum cleaner. Let's maybe make these LFOs go a little bit faster. Oh my goodness me. So as we mess around with the bias on each of the distortions, then it can kind of crap them out a little bit more. So yeah, we don't have to send it back into itself all the way. We can find a nice little sort of, whoa. All right, let's maybe modulate the time of the feedback here in the raw with the noise. So there's the feedback time. Let's add that to the noise. We don't get any visual feedback on that, but... bit lost. Okay, I do like where it's going, but it is getting a little bit sort of... And maybe we can sort of persevere and find maybe try some different distortion shapes. Let's try polynomial. Yeah. 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 Let's try different distortion on the mid. Let's maybe try, what's this fractal thing? Yeah, there's all of these fun shapers. It's really interesting. Yeah. So okay. So it was not my intention today to sit down to make nice music. I woke up this morning and I was like, I must make a terrible noise on the internet. And I think I'm succeeding. All right, let's try a different... Turn it down a little bit here. Let's try a different shaper on the high frequency. Let's try this diode clip. Let's try tube preamp. We've got these nice different curves. Okay. Yes, raw, I know. So now what I want to do is try and get the gate to behave a little bit more, a little bit more excitedly. So because the gate is being triggered, it's not being triggered by the MIDI, it's being triggered by the audio that the MIDI is triggering. So we can kind of do some stuff in the sequencer in order to get the gate to behave a certain way. So I'm just going to draw in a load of other notes here and give them all like a lower probability. So I'm going to select all of those ones that I've just drawn in, that one, and that one. And then I'm going to go to the chance and I'm going to pull them down to something like 50, just under 50%. And then that is just going to give us a little bit more. I wonder if we can get all of this in one window. Yeah, we can. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Let's see what this sounds like. Might actually come down even slower. Let's come down to 75 BPM. I've totally lost. I'm going to turn the click on so I can find the one. Yeah. Okay, what I might do. What I might do is put okay, quiet down, settle down. Right. Okay. So what I might do now is maybe put a hi-hat thing in the drum rack, but outside of the sidechain trigger bus, just so that I can sort of keep my ear on where the one is, so I can actually work out whether this is any good or not. So I'm just going to pull the velocity down on these ones a little bit so that the first one is sort of a little bit more accented. So I'm very, damn it, just on that first one. So I'm just very clear where the one is. Yeah, that's better. So the oh my god. So yeah, the fact that we've applied some probability to the MIDI means that when the MIDI triggers the sounds that's triggering the gate, sometimes when there's no sound, the gate is going to stay open longer because we're not opening the gate, we're closing the gate when we trigger it because we flipped it. So if we change, oh my god, I'm losing control of my stuff. If we change the sound, if we give like a more decay on the snare, that's gonna affect the way that the gate behaves because it's responding to the audio. So you can see there the trigger tail is much longer. We pull that decay back down. Yeah, crikey. I think what I might do is rather than send the kick and snare to this sidechain, I might actually hard route them because I want to put some more effects on the kick and snare in order to make an impact on how it triggers the gate. So I'm going to go to the kick and snare. I'm going to hold both. I'm going to hold shift, do both of them, and then go rack output, and then go drum rack B sidechain. So now they are straight routed to that chain, and I don't need to send them to that. At least I don't think so. Let's find out. Yeah. So because the track is muted, we can't hear that now. We should hear the kick and snare now. Okay, but we need to go back to our gate and we need to say that we want the gate to be post mixer this time. No, I've ruined it. I've ruined my video. Why have I done that? How has that? Why? Why, oh why? Because it's on a different track now. Let's try this one. No, I've ruined it. Because I'm not feeding anything. Rack output. Oh, you know what? That idea, I think, won't work. Oh, no. Now it will. That's weird. Wow. I'm not sure what happened then. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it as much. Where's the undo history? Let's look at the undo history. Maybe I can go back. Let's see if I can go back. What did we do here? Draw. Oh my God. I've never actually looked at this before. Let's see what we can do. Change routing. Insert device track. Paste into drum rack. Insert clip. Is it? Oh, that's the, oh, so that's right at the very back. So this is the recent. Change routing. Speaker on. Change routing. What did I do here? Speaker on. Routing. Speaker on. Let's just go back to this. Has that done that? go back further. Routing. Is it taking me back to when I changed the routing? I can't work out. I've never done this undo history thing before. Change velocity, change, send 0. You know what? I'll just do it myself. I will just do it myself. So we'll go to rack, change these back to rack output. I'm sorry, everyone. I wasn't happy with the results from that. I've changed my mind. So now we need to go back to our gate and change this to post effects. No, I've ruined it. I've ruined it again. This is madness. Oh, there we go. Weird. I was going to put some beat repeats on the drums. That hasn't worked, so I'm just going to put the beat repeats at the end of the chain. So now let's compress it, make it more in your face, and I'm going to do that with the O to T to T T T to T T. Whoa, not all of those. Let's put that there, and then I'm going to group that, and I'm going to make another chain. I'm going to put a drum bus on another chain, so we've kind of got a super squashed version and then a really punchy version with the transients up. This is probably going to be really loud. Yeah. Not sure what's going on, why it sort of needs a little bit of time to... I'm feeding it. Why am I not getting anything? There's something weird going on with the gate. Am I on the wrong chain? Oh, I've worked it out. It's because they're not... okay, right. I've got it now. Everyone. So the problem is that when I changed the routing earlier, I turned the sends down, so I wasn't actually sending anything to the I am a silly man. Muted the track. think I might macro these amounts so that we can just sort of play around with it a little bit, dial around how much intensity we want from our instrument rack here, our drum rack. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do. I haven't really adjusted any of these levels. Let's just turn this level up here on this bit crush. There's like a bit crush shaper. That's fun. All right, let's see. We can pull the amounts down on each of them now. Yeah, it's got a groove. Might macro a few other things. Let's open up the rest of the macros. Let's map the shaper. Yeah, the shapers for each of them here, so that we can just sort of experiment whilst it's playing. What else could we do? Maybe this. Maybe turn off the LFOs and do it all from here and then just kind of randomize everything. I'm going to map this frequency to here. Yeah, that's fine. Could maybe do that one too. Let's map that one and then that one. I'm going to turn the bias to 0 on all of them. Now we can randomize all of those settings. Let's map that one to that one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's map the amount of the feedback mode, the frequency, and the resonance, just to give us more stuff to experiment with. That time thing is already being modulated. That's fun. So sometimes not sending it all the way back into itself can be pretty good, because eventually you go too far, it just turns into a big squeal. got there in the end. Sometimes you just got to keep going. Yeah. Map that peak to another one here so that we can change whether it's positive or negative. Do you want that? Yeah. Really nice to look at. That noise thing. Very nice. I think I should stop now. Or you can play with the feedback loop when it finishes. That's always fun. And everyone in the crowd is going, boo! There, everyone's left. It's just me. Even the engineer has left. Right, that's it. That's the end of the video. So I hope you like that. Let's just do a quick recap. So basically, you create a feedback loop and then you gate the feedback loop and you flip the gate. Well, depending on how you want to do it, you can have it not flipped and only let the sound through when the gate is triggered, or you can flip it and then have the sound cut when it's triggered. And then when that's in the feedback loop, that kind of automatically controls the feedback loop return amount, which kind of interacts greatly with how the feedback loop is blooming in and out of control. And then you just macro a load of stuff and hit random and then it's all good. Right, I'm going to go and put that on my Patreon now, where if you have Live 12.1 Suite, you can download this and have lots of fun and download every other Ableton Live thing I've done ever. And your support all goes towards making more videos like this. I greatly appreciate it. That was a pretty long video, but I went in a little underprepared, but we got there in the end, and that's what it's all about. Okay, thanks everyone. See you next time. Bye.